or overtime fights like on Streets King of the Hill or on Streets King of the Hill or on some of the Slayers here. And then you're seeing these complete blowouts where Lucid goes completely off or Frosty's dropping plus 21 on some of these teams here. So it's been an absolute wild back and forth series.
Not sure what happened at the start, but the result, Lucid with camo. 3 go down for FaZe, and it looks like Trippy started this one off with a nice double kill to kick his team off in some map control. But as Lucid tries to make his way towards this shock rifle with this camouflage, he's got to figure out a way to make a play to get this ball and secure it. But unfortunately, when the second you lose Formal, you know it's your time to slay.
Now, the good news for OpTic, wow, what a shot as well. The good news for OpTic is that it was Recharge Slayer that they did end up winning before. Lucid also not missing, except for as I jinx him here and Frosty cleans up that kill. Somehow, even with those incredible shots from Lucid, several members of OpTic still fall and ball goes over in the hands of FaZe.
Yeah, frustrating for sure, right? But I mean, if you take a look at the kills, Royal 2's got to be doing something successful. It's less than a minute into the game. He's found himself his 5th kill. So as much as we'll hype up Snakebite, Royal 2, or Snakebite, Renegade, and Frosty, Royal 2 is every bit of an MVP on any team he's ever been on. So what a roster this is to try and compete against. And although Lucid's still popping off, you still have to deal with somebody on the other team. Trippy matching Lucid's production so far with 4 have now given an elevator opportunity for the setup of OpTic to be the first real points on the board.
Yeah, you can see OpTic looking to get back into this one. Lucid and Trippy leading the pack. 10 kills there between the two of them. And as we say that, several players going down. 2 drop. Everyone from FaZe is still alive. And this is one of those times where it's just the worst actual time for everyone on your team to fall, right? Formal luckily is able to trade out one of those kills, but that camo is up and it's looking like FaZe is making a play for it.
Renegade's baiting it right now, but ball in the hand with the player down. FaZe is in a very difficult situation to try and compete for any kind of a power-up. I believe they're going to lose the battle bottom mid, but Renegade gets a kill and actually gets away with the camo somehow, some way, in a disadvantageous position, down numbers. Renegade once again sneaks away with the camo, and what kind of an impact is he going to have is the big question. Formal gets ripped to shreds with the shock. Camo's still in his hand, so he can play his life very slowly here. Lucid's re-chowing, trying to find him. But because he's camouflaged, it's going to be a very difficult kill to try and find. And now Renegade with the shock rifle can allow this setup to really manifest, but he gets deleted. And that's the pick OpTic need to break this setup quick.
The timing on that. Renegade, when he heard that camo start to expire, it's probably pure panic mode. Tries to run, but OpTic Gaming is ready for him. They were trying to keep their eyes out. You know, one thing you notice or start seeing a lot in these recharge games is when players do have shock rifles, some like to sit back and kind of snipe from a protected location. A lot of other players, and kind of how the meta is developing, want to get out on the map, go for as many kills as they can, quick kills as well. So that's one of the things you're seeing here from Renegade.
A couple of wasted shots to get the last of the shock to be all he's playing with right now in the hands of Frosty. A push from APG on Catwalk is immediately removed. That makes this setup a little bit stronger. And I mean, Kyle, we haven't even referenced the score. 57-9 and climbing, and Frosty is going to work.
That was not an easy no-scope either. Those are one of the more difficult angles. When you're just standing right next to somebody and you just need to move left or right, those are the easy snipes. These plays from Frosty, the snipes, the perfects with the BR, these are monstrous plays.
Yeah, because in the meantime, you have Royal 2 with the ball, and look at his time, 64 seconds. A lot of this time has acquired while Frosty's going to work over in blue. Every bit of time that he's hitting those shots, putting players in respawns, is 3 points for FaZe.
Keep in mind, FaZe is up 3-2 in this series. They are completely dominating round 1 of this game number 6. They are looking to close OpTic out and win the SSG Spartan Snowdown right now.
And they played this game type earlier today in winners bracket, and this was the game type that OpTic beat the hell out of them. It was a 2-0, and it was not nearly close. So for FaZe to come out this time around, gain this significant of a lead, they still need to punch their ticket on this first round. But what a statement that would be.
Absolutely here. Slays are fairly even between both teams. OpTic, they're doing everything they can to start racking up some of this ball time. They have good vision on where the push is coming from. APG rotating that ball to try to help out Formal as well. Formal does get taken out, but Lucid trades out a couple of kills himself, and I like this play from APG a lot. They do have a player in A, but OpTic Gaming is quickly looking to collapse here, clear this player out, but Renegade with the finesse is just too strong. APG does take him out, but he bought a lot of time here for his team.
Yeah, but all FaZe need to do is get this ball rotated into pipes and hold on to it. Just like that, Frosty does it. And now he forces OpTic to fly at him. But they're not even going to be able to get here in time. It appears 5 seconds. And he's going to walk out the front as OpTic come in the low door. Unfortunately, Frosty doesn't even want to end this without getting a kill first. A little bit of show to end this first round. Frosty puts a punctuation on it. And that was a dominant FaZe round. And now OpTic on a brink of elimination from this tournament. And this grand finals could be over here in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, the defending Halo World Champions have their backs against the wall in this first event of 2023 here. And you can see Renegade flies out on the map, no fear whatsoever, grabs himself camo, and immediately goes for ball. They put 3 dead for OpTic to start this one, and that is not the start you were hoping for if you are rooting here for OpTic.
It was a completely different start last round, and we saw how that round ended up. This time, FaZe get the better of the break. They get the ball in the pipes, and Renegade with shock and camo. We've seen this movie before. APG gets his head ripped off. Lucid tries to push up red stairs. He gets taken down. Formal tries to trade it out. He successfully does, but trades are not a win condition right now for OpTic. You need to find a way to go 2 for 1 as you got the first pick from Renegade.
Nice grenade from Renegade. Will clean up that kill onto Trippy. He's still moving around with that shock rifle out. They've got a 22-point lead here, and they are just looking to take their time with this. They know what great position they're in. They know they're close to winning their first event as a team together. And the Slays-wise, just been heavily outslaying OpTic.
Only 22 points was awarded to FaZe throughout that entire opening setup. So that was a good job by OpTic to minimize the damage here. That is a very easy time to try and make up for it, but they've got to get that ball in hand. They've got to find a way to get a realistic setup. A couple of slays are going to be needed in order to get that ball out of the neutralized position, and unfortunately in the kill feed you see Renegade with that shock rifle going to work. That is not what the green wall wants to see right now. Can they figure out a way to make up for those slays? All 4 members of OpTic actually just go down. They're spawning over at blue, and this is going to be in at least an additional 20 seconds, 20 points awarded to FaZe as they try to formulate another setup break.
And with camo spawning here, OpTic, they're going to have to make a play for this. So they've got to keep an eye on ball, but also try to push out and contest overshield. APG, he does grab himself a kill, but Renegade answers right back. This is what you want to see. Oh my God, Lucid with the stick. That is everything here now for this team. They've completely shut down the plays from FaZe. They're able to grapple ball and escape with camo. I don't know how they just pulled that off, but that is exactly what they needed.
That was all 4 down for FaZe. A perfect setup break. A little bit of fortunateness on the fact that Trippy didn't get assassinated there. It allowed him to trade in a situation he probably shouldn't have, but in the meantime, OpTic trying to figure out a way to hold this elevator setup, but this is the first real push from FaZe being dealt with. Last player alive, snake bite. What a play from APG to stay alive here, make himself a hard kill, and although he eventually goes down, the damage is done. He built a distraction, and that should be a nice 15 points awarded to OpTic.
Yeah, you can see OpTic knows FaZe is coming off spawn in here towards gold. You've got Sniper in the hands of Lucid, and what a shot to connect onto Renegade and just buy time for OpTic to rotate this ball out. They have numbers. I'd almost like to see them drop ball and fight here so they don't lose control. They can easily shut this down. Somehow, 4v3 scenario, 3 of them go down. They lose shock rifle. APG is stuck in a corner with nowhere to go. And that is not as much time as I was thinking OpTic was going to walk away with there. If they had dropped ball and fought a little bit more, I think they could have set up with a full, or gotten control with a full setup at C and even played the ball if they did break through.
Yeah, not as much time, and honestly, no opportunity to really play the ball either. So the ball immediately transitions to FaZe's hands, right? You weren't in an opportunity to play the ball in the back of blue because you tried to play it close to the front. And because of that, FaZe are now continuing to build their lead. Trippy under a lot of pressure right now. Frosty with the triple looks for the O. APG shuts him down, but damage done, and the score continuing to grow.
This is getting scary, right? This is the point of no return. OpTic's doing everything they can. A great repulse on the ball by Snakebite to get the play ball here. And you've still got Renegade with the shock rifle. And I mean, I feel like he's had the shock rifle all game, Wes.
It sure feels like it, but he's not even leading the team with kills. Frosty is right now. Everybody doing their part, and that repulse from Snakebite to play the ball is exactly how you play the situation when the setup gets broken. That is the mistake that OpTic made earlier, was not playing the ball. Snakebite understands that that's the only way that they come back is with a nice blue setup. He doesn't even give them that opportunity, and although there's plenty of time, this ball continuously the focal point of this FaZe clan. Snakebite gets the ball all the way to the back of Sword, and all he needs to do is hold it for 10 more seconds. An overkill from Renegade is gonna do it. FaZe have created the upset. They take down your former world champs, and they are currently the SSG Snowdown champions themselves.
Renegade punching the victory in with an overkill as well to add insult to injury.